Hey everyone, welcome to this video where we will find out when the next altcoin season is. At least we're going to try because we can never predict the future. We're going to go through a few things and then by the end of the video come back to this question and see if we can answer that. But before we do that, let's start with the most essential first. What is the altcoin season? Now, altcoin season is a period in the crypto market when altcoins, that is everything that isn't Bitcoin, is increasing in price. And when I say increasing in price, I really mean that they pump. And altcoin season usually comes after Bitcoin has had a great run and maybe even touch all-time highs or even newer all-time highs. But then investors, they shift focus into altcoins, which leads to Bitcoin price slowing down a little bit. Now, because everyone is taking more risks and looking for higher returns during the altcoin season, that leads to higher market caps and also higher overall performance of the market. Now, another factor that can contribute to an altcoin season getting started is technological advancements within the space. Now, there is an Altcoin Season Index that I want us to take a look at, and this was actually introduced to me by Phil, who is also creating videos for this channel, so big props to him. Now, this index is on blockchaincenter.net, and we can see right here that we are in a Bitcoin season right now. And when do we have altcoin season? That's when 75% of the top 50 coins are performing better than Bitcoin over the last 90 days. Then we have altcoin season. And right now that isn't happening and we are quite far away from it. So right now we have 12% and we can scroll down below this graph and see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins, only 6 coins of the top 50 are performing better than Bitcoin over the last 90 days. So we are pretty far away from an altcoin season, in my opinion. Now, I know many people out there say we are already in it, probably because of some meme coins that have taken off, such as Pepe, over the last couple of weeks. And we also had some AI coins a few months ago that went crazy. This is because of ChatGPT and other stuff happening in the market. But in my opinion, we aren't in altcoin season yet. And I will try to explain why I think so. Now let's go back up here and we can see how the market is performing right now. So altcoin season is everything above 75 and Bitcoin season is everything below 25. And we are in a Bitcoin season right now, as you can see. But it doesn't mean that we need to be above 75 for altcoins to pump. Because as I said, we had a few months ago when AI coins did really, really well. And that was around February, March. And we can see that this right here happened about like beginning of February until beginning of March. And we were around the 40 area and still performed really, really good. Now, if we were above 75, that means that not only AI coins would be taking off, but many coins would actually go nuts during this period. And we will actually go through that and I will show you what happened during the previous altcoin seasons. But first, let's try to determine when was the last altcoin season. And I want us to take a look at two peaks right here. One that was in 2021 from about March to June, July, right here, when this was a crazy alt season. And then we touched a little bit up here and we had a short alt season in 2022, August to September. And let's start with this period right here. So we were about beginning of August to mid-September, right? So let's go to Coin Market Cap and see if we take Bitcoin, let's take Ethereum, let's actually take BNB as well. And let's go back to that time and see what happened with these coins. So we were looking at August to September 2022, right? So let's see right here. What do we have? Let's do like that and like this. So we had here around August, beginning of August, Bitcoin is on about 24K. And then by the end of August, we were down to 19. So it dropped quite a bit from 24 to 19. And then it actually continued to drop. We can see here down to 15K. So that's a pretty big drop after it had gained quite a lot during the last couple of months, years. And then if we go to Ethereum and check for the same date, we can see that if we go back to around August, like this, we can see around July we were around the 1K mark, right? And then during August we moved up a little bit sideways and then back up again. So in mid of September we were at 1.7K. Mid-August about 2K. That's 100% gains from down here to here. That's pretty much. And we can go to BNB and look at what happened here. And we can see that this jumped a lot. So we can see by the end of July from 216, $245 up to $354. That's quite a good jump during this small and short altcoin season, right? But then if we go back and see when this happened, which was a bit longer and a bit better, so to say, this was from end of March 2021 to mid-June 2021. So let's take a look at what happened then. So we have from about March to June, July, and we can see that Ethereum was about $1,500 and then it moved up to $4,800. That's a pretty big jump. One of the biggest one we've seen in a couple of years, I think. And we can see what BNB did, and it did quite good as well. So we can go back to March. February, it was around $41, and then in March, 200. But then in May, it was around $660. So that's pretty good. We can actually take a look at other altcoins as well. I want to highlight Solana, for example. And we can also check Dogecoin and see what they did back in 2021. So let's do this so we can have a better time frame. So we have, this is from April, we were around $19. And then by November 2021, we were at $258 for Solana. I mean, this is a crazy jump, a really good jump. And if you had bought right here, that would be a really good investment. And the same goes for Dogecoin. Now, Dogecoin has had a bit different story with being a meme coin and having people such as Elon Musk behind it. So it pumped quite good for different reasons as well. But we can see here in March 2021, 0.05, and then up here at 0.5. That's a few 10 or 100x, right? So that's pretty good performance as well. So what could we expect for the next altcoin season, right? And actually, when could we expect it to be? I want to take a look at this part because this is why it's hard to predict. Based on this index right here, for example, we can see that the time between each altcoin season has been different. So one has been like 3-4 months, and then we can see about a year. So we can, for example, from 2021, this, let's say it ended around end of June 2021, and then we had this big jump in August 2022. So that's about 12-13 months later. And then if we go back even more in time, we can see that here we had 1st of August 2017 and then December 2017. So that's just a couple of months, right? So it's a big difference on this gap compared to this gap right here. But I think if we take a look at the lows that we're in, if we take into consideration what's actually happening with the SEC and everything else, with the FUD, with Binance, with Coinbase, and all that kind of stuff, I think it might take a little bit longer. Now, on the other hand, we have more exciting technology with AI coming into the game and metaverse and all that kind of stuff, VR, AR, with Apple releasing new stuff. So that's pretty hard to balance and find a specific date when the next altcoin season is. My guess would be that we will see a good pump this year. Now, it might be in about 2 to 3 months, because let's say from this drop down around mid-September to now, which is June, it has been over half a year, right? So we've gone pretty far in time from here to here, but we're so low. So it might take a little bit to move upwards and then sideways a little bit. Maybe try this height once again, and then maybe September, October, maybe December, January next year, we will try to hit altcoin season, and hopefully we can be prepared for that season. Now, how can you be prepared for altcoin season? It's all about DCA, but then you need to have diversity in your portfolio. You need to DCA in coins that you believe in, that have the technology you believe in, that's founded and driven by people you believe in. But then, in my opinion, you also need to have a bag of different meme coins and lower cap gems. And how would you be able to find those? That's when Moralis money comes into place. And if you haven't used Moralis money before, it is the best tool to find great altcoins very early and minimizing the risk of getting scammed. Let me show you how it works. By the way, I've added the correct link in the description below, so make sure you check that out. Now let's jump straight into this token explorer, and we can use these metrics right here to find different altcoins. We can find very old ones and we can find very new ones. For example, if we go to new coins tab, you can see coins minted like a few minutes ago, even a few seconds ago. But let's do that through Token Explorer as well. So we can add coin age and choose less than 1 day and get the very new coins on the Ethereum blockchain right here. But we want to add a few more filters because we don't actually like everything we see right here. We want the smart contract to have a bit better score than 1. And we can do it by adding the security score and add greater than, let's say, 70, for example. I'm just spitballing here. So we didn't have for less than 1 day. Let's add 3 days instead. And there we have at least a few. So we have Fat Pickle that has 77 index score. We have Dodge Club that has 80, and then Redemit that has 99. And we can click on this one and at least go through what does this actually mean. So I've created a video on it. I will post it in the description below so you can check that out, what this really means. But to quickly recap, this score is the grade of the smart contract and a few other metrics. So for the smart contracts, this score is based on if it's a honeypot, that means you can buy but you can't sell, that means it's a scam. If it has a buy or sell tax, how many holders there are, how many transactions have been made, and also how many followers they have on Twitter and things like that. So that gives a pretty good indication. You can scroll down and see these security metrics that determine the security score on the top. So first of all, it's open source. That's always good because that means we can check the smart contract ourselves and make decisions based on what we see and what we like. We can see the buy tax and sell tax is 0%. It's not a honeypot. We can see the trading cooldown. It's a no. This means that the owner can freeze a few transactions or holders or wallets, and we don't want that to happen. He can't mint more tokens. And yeah, you have so many security metrics right here. You can go through them one by one. And then you can also see these bubbles. And this helps a lot. First of all, you can find whales, which can be positive. But then you can also find suspicious holders that have way too big percentage holding and can impact the price negatively and not to your favor. So what do I mean by that? If you click on one bubble, that represents one wallet. And this one holds about 2.1% of the tokens. Now this one is a cluster, so combined they hold 3.2. Ideally, I never want to see more than 5% because then that holder has a big impact. And we can see on probably a few others that it looks a bit different, right? Let's see. So here you have, for example, this holder, which is the second biggest one, that's 4.8%. Now, in some occasion, this can be 20%. And that's a big no for me. Now this cluster has about 8%. That's very big. I would do more research on see how these are connected, and if I can't find anything, I would ask the team itself. So what's happening here? This looks suspicious. And this one has 7.3% and this one 4.9%. So you can definitely do some more research on here. But on Moralis Money, you can also see the graph. Now, if it's an older token, I definitely do some technical analysis. I see moving averages. I see what support levels we have, what resistance level we have. I check for RSI and so many things. On newer coins, that's a little bit hard to do because you don't have so much substance to go at. This is more hypes or trends in the market, and you need to be very quick with this kind of stuff. Now let's go back and change it a bit right here. Let's do 50 days so we can have few more tokens to play around with, because I want to add more metrics. I don't want the market cap to be way too big. So I want to have it less than, let's say, 15 million. All right, so there we have another list of, let's see how many tokens. So it's still quite big. We have about 200 that's showing, but there's so many more. So let's add another metric. We want to have experienced buyers that is going to be increased with, let's say, 15 for the last week. So experienced buyers, if you don't know what that is buyers that have done over 100 transactions. And we put them as experienced buyers because when you're doing transactions on Ethereum and you pay gas fees, that can be quite expensive. If you're doing 100 of those, then you're definitely not a scammer, because scammers usually create new wallets, make 1 or 2 transactions, and then create new ones once again. So let's see, this list dropped from about 200 to 10, and we can see Pepe is within this list. For example, we have Frocky, and we can see more data right here. We can see that the holders for, let's say, Pepe has been growing with 280 for the last week, as you can see right here. Buyers 402 and experienced buyers 248. Now if we scroll to the right, we can see even more data, right? Let's say I want to see, where do we have it? So experienced net buyers, that's the difference between experienced buyers and experienced sellers. And we can see that amongst the experienced wallets, there's more selling than buying. So that's usually not a good indication. And we can also see that the volume is decreasing for the last week at least by 21K. So these kind of stuff are really good to take into consideration, and you can definitely use Moralis Money to find great altcoins very early. That's the purpose of it. And if you can prepare with this tool during the bull market, or actually before the bull market, that means you can have a pretty good bag and sit tight and enjoy the ride. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Let me know in the comment section what you think and when you think the next altcoin season is. Now my guess would be by the end of this year, somewhere between, let's say, October and December, maybe January. We will see. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.